Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. And today we're going to be talking about some of the games I've been playing recently. Now, most of these games I guess you guys would consider like indie titles, but I think you guys will take a big interest in them. And I always pick some of the good ones to play. At least it'll be up to your opinion whether you think these games are good to play. So let's get right into it. Alright, so here's BROK the InvestiGator. Now, I got into this game for the wrong reasons. I thought this game was going to be more of a beat 'em up, but it tends to be a little bit of beat 'em up, puzzle solving, adventure. It's all mixed into one, and it kind of just threw me off. Now, the game looks fantastic. This game, well, just by the look of it, will pull a lot of nostalgia in for a lot of people. The voice acting is really well done, and the puzzle solving is pretty good too. But the problem I have with this game is that with the pacing of a puzzle and a beat 'em up mixed together, it just doesn't fit right. So I feel like if this game was more of a beat 'em up, it'd be right up my alley. Now, after saying all that, I found myself mostly going to the quick fight mode, where that mode is pretty much like an arcade beat 'em up. But even playing that, I find myself thinking about games like Streets of Rage 4 or something else. I'd just rather be playing those games. Now, that's not taken away from this beat 'em up, but it's just like, I don't know, when some things are kind of like subpar, you start thinking about other games that you could be playing instead. Now, I'm not trying to stop you guys from playing this game. I feel like a lot of people will have a better experience than me. But yeah, I just want my game genres to be like one at a time, like beat 'em up, a verse fighting game, or RPG. You can't have all that stuff mixed into one to make a really solid experience, at least for me. I'm not trying to be petty with this one either, but I don't like the title of the game, BROK the InvestiGator. I see the joke in that, but I feel like, something would have been better like Alligator Express. Don't ask me why, I just think it's a cool name. But anyways, guys, with me saying all that, I do think this will be a better experience for other people. Just wasn't my cup of tea.
Must be one of those trendy voice services. Just press the button and ask whatever you want. Whoa! What's going on with the electricity? No idea how this happened, but I better stay away from that fire.
Now here's Parasol Stars. This is actually the sequel to Bubble Bobble. So this is actually Bubble Bobble Part 3, which Part 2, the original Part 2, is actually Rainbow Islands. Now, both of those originally were arcade games, where this game actually came out as an exclusive on the console. And I would say it fundamentally plays like those games. You're pretty much, you have to clear out a screen of enemies. You catch and release enemies and throw them in like these loops that kind of like take out all other enemies or just toss them at each other. The game is pretty fun, and I would say it's my second favorite in the series, with Rainbow Islands being my first. I'm happy to say, too, that this game is also going to be released as a physical from Strictly Limited. Hopefully that's out by now, but if not, you could download it as a digital. There's not really much else to say about this one. I mean, if you play Bubble Bobble, you know what you're going to get into with this one. It is a very fun game. It's unfortunate that it wasn't as popular as the other games, but still, they're trying to give it a breath of fresh air. And with this physical release looming, like I said, I hope it's out by now. It's definitely, I think, something people will want to pick up. Alright, so here is a shoot 'em up collection called IRM Collection. Now, this consists of horizontal and vertical shoot 'em ups. Now, just to let you all know, this collection, for each game, they usually come with a variation game. What I mean by that is like their console counterparts, except for Image Fight 2, I believe. But anyways, going to the first game in this collection, Image Fight Part 1, I didn't like this game when I played it a few months ago. I was getting tore up on the first level. And then when I played it again recently, I figured out, what the mechanic of the game pretty much is. And that is, you got to speed up and slow down at certain points. So you have a button you push to kind of like make the craft go faster and slower. And that's going to help you out on a lot of parts in this game. You're going to have to vigorously use it at all times, depending on the situation. Now, before I knew all that with this game, I couldn't get past the first few seconds. But now, I gotten better-ish at the game, and I got to the boss, and I beat the boss, but the second level I kind of messed up on. It's one of those games you have to really pay attention to at all times. You can't stray. You got to remember what to do in certain situations. If you don't react fast enough, it's over for you. Image Fight 2, I feel like it's more of the same. Now, this was a console-only game, so what they did is they added story to it, and that was already a plus with me. Now, originally, I believe the game was only in Japanese, but now it's been translated in English, so you can understand the story if you're interested in that. I like the space setting in this game. You know, when I first started playing shoot 'em ups back in the day, most of the games I played had a space level in it, so that just brings that nostalgia for me. I felt this game was more intense than the first game, so make sure you get those power-ups ASAP, because this game, as you can see, you got to be shooting and moving at all times. Now, finally, we have X Multiply. Now, this one I remember back in the day, I was going to actually buy this game on the PlayStation system. It was very expensive, and I had a chance to get a good deal, and thankfully, I didn't pull the trigger on it because that version of the game is one of the worst versions out there. The game reminds me a lot of Gradius, just I feel like it's more faster paced, at least more faster action on screen. You get these snake arm power-ups that help you deflect enemy attacks during the game, which I thought was pretty unique. But where this game really took off for me is when I got this laser power-up. I feel like this is the best weapon in the game, even though it's like one of the first two weapons, in my opinion. Definitely made the game a lot more interesting for me. So with that said, I believe Strictly Limited is putting this on a physical for everybody to collect. So hopefully that's out by now. If not, hopefully it'll be out soon. But the digital is available right now. You haven't heard of the GG Retro Box? They are pretty much a retro nostalgia. You buy mystery boxes from them, and you always get good surprises. Now, the prices vary, but on your first purchase, you'll get 15% off with my discount code. I feel like where my collection is at right now is always hard to impress me, but GG Retro Box doesn't let down. And this is a good way for somebody who's new into collecting to start their collection. These mystery boxes are on point, and I definitely think a lot of you guys will like them. So make sure you guys hop on this deal of these mystery boxes. My code, do not forget it, it's in the description. And also remember, guys, GG Retro Box is a treasure trove of retro nostalgia. Definitely don't miss out. Alright, so here is Rainbow Cotton. Now, this game was originally released on the Dreamcast, and I don't think it was that popular back then. You know, people were kind of expecting more of a just a horizontal or vertical shoot 'em up, where this one went the Rails route. Now, I felt the game was a bit slow back in the day. You know, it kind of you slowly go through the levels, and sometimes I feel like the levels can be too long. But playing the game now, I think I appreciate it more because you're looking at the environments of the worlds, and you get a better look at the world of Cotton, I would say. So that's a plus. Now, they did add a 2-player mode to this version of the game, and so you can play as the fairy character, which I thought was a cool touch. The game is pretty fun once you get used to the mechanics, and for those of you that like the storyline, the subtitles are in English now, so you can understand what's going on with the story. And this was the last Cotton game they made before it got a resurgence a few years ago. There were a couple of side games that were based off pachinko machines, but I don't think anybody really cared about them because they wanted the game to go back to being a shoot 'em up, which it has over the years. So, but definitely check this one out, guys. I think it'll be appreciated more today. Here's Horizon Chase 2. I don't know why they took the turbo out because this game is just as fast, probably even faster than the original game. I always find my way back to this game. You know, I take a little break here and there, but next thing you know, this game is just I gotta play it. And hopefully a physical will come out pretty soon for the PS4. I think once all the DLC, they've gotten all the DLC they want out for this game, they'll probably put it out as a physical, hopefully, because this game is one of those games that has to have a physical no matter what. But with saying that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. These games are hopefully something you guys will take a look at. You know, they're all very fun games. I had a great time with them, and I think you will too. But that is all for this video, guys. The Radical one, and I will see you all later.